All right, what is up, my beautiful gemstones? It doesn't look like we have anybody in here except possibly Mike Roberts and Blue Crossroads. What is up? Nothing like your night being completely ruined 3 minutes before you start a stream. I'm going to sit and see who else comes in. I hope you all have been having a good week. If we don't get enough people, I'm just going to kind of call it because I'm not going to just have a couple of people in here, but we'll give people a few times. Start time is 7:15. I'm going to share out now and let people know we're live. So just hang tight for a minute or two, guys. Let me bring Steven out too. And we'll just kind of sit, if you don't mind, for a couple of minutes and feel it out. See which way it's going to go. So.
Hello. How's everybody? Hello, Blue. Yeah, good question. Here we go. Trying to set me up. Now I got to remember I'm in chat too. So the only way I can use the talk without having to figure out how to do it in there without using your name. Hey, Parazone. Welcome.
Not sure. Do you? I'm just sharing out. Tonight we're going to talk about, what's up, girl? Thank you for joining us. We're just waiting for a few more people to kind of trickle in. This is something new that we're doing. I used to do live Oracle on Fridays. I stopped that. Now we're kind of running this paranormal thing, and it's taking some time to get people coming in. So just hang tight.
You must be, because I've never seen you before. We're so welcome.
Yeah, it's nice to have a new face, a new name. Definitely could use the support. My channel's going through transition right now, and it's been a mess, but it was a mess when I first began it too. So
really, hot mess, huh?
Yes, for sure. We started off as hot mess 4.5 years ago, and now with all these transitions and changes that I'm making, we're down to just a regular mess. But tonight we are going to be talking about mermaids. And we're going to be showing some clips of allegedly real mermaids. I want to discuss this topic. What I'm eventually going to do is put the Friday night topic as the topic before the Tuesday night upload. But this week, I kind of was thinking about my previous Tuesday night upload from this week. It was about mermaids. I love that subject, that topic. And in my first book, I talked about mermaids. There was a whole chapter. Yeah, that is awesome. It's always good to see new faces. It keeps things interesting, yes, and especially on a channel like this, where, you know, I rely kind of heavily on people's encounters and their own experiences and the belief in the things that I'm saying or that we're talking about, or like those nuanced opinions. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like pretty much when people travel in here or people that have known me forever find a way to kind of, you know, go along and like see. I just like having all the different viewpoints and points of view. But in my first book that I wrote 4 years ago already, believe it or not, I had a whole chapter on mermaids, and I talked about how they're portrayed, just like most things, as this like Disney-fied kind of, you know, Ariel from The Little Mermaid, just like Tinkerbell. You know, the book was called Missing the Fae Theory. There it is. And it was my theory about all of the missing 411 stuff and how fairies could possibly be a big part of what's going on in the woods, not just in the United States, but all over the place. And I did a chapter on mermaids because I don't think they're really a fae creature, but they are mythic and they are very Disney-fied. People don't understand with these types of entities that they're usually not friendly. I feel like if something is sentient, you know, if something has intelligence, it has the capability to be all different ways. If you have 50 humans, they're all going to have a different personality, a different attitude, a different way of thinking, a different way of viewing the world. Think about different sentient, intelligent beings like mermaids, right? Or mer people, we should really say mermen.
Right.
And I think a lot of them really despise the human race, probably because of the pollution to the oceans. I'm also a huge believer that there is stuff going on in the depths of the oceans that like is unfathomable.
Oh, I am big time.
Like the most conspiratorial conspiracy theorists, right? Like we can't even imagine. I believe there's underground bases. I believe extraterrestrials come from a lot of the time down there. I believe there's portals. I believe there's so much going on in the depths, the areas that we've never explored, we can't get to. And
Like
I think that's, I think that's where the mer people come from. I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning more towards, of like something like an Atlantis being down there, like a whole civilization. I've gone through so many extraterrestrial encounters where people said that the ship went right into the ocean. And then when they got out of the ship, after it went under the ocean through all of these gigantic tunnels, when they got out, they were not underwater. Like they were underwater, but not. Like there are dwelling places under there where human beings can breathe.
Well,
and move.
Part of the hollow earth theory is there's caverns throughout the earth, and there's little lakes and subterranean.
Yep.
And, the heat from the core could actually support such a thing.
I absolutely believe it. I even wore my little Pisces mermaid ring that my mom got me for my birthday last year. Oh, Mike, no, I started a few minutes early because there was a change in my schedule behind the scenes. So instead of starting at 7:15, plus you, Blue, and Leanne are the only people that are here. I was kind of going to address that tonight, but I wasn't sure. Once I started charging $2 after 4 years of doing Oracle for free, we lost half of the people that would come in every week. Lost all of that support, lost all that money, lost all those views. So then I stopped charging, but then those people still didn't come back. And then they started getting really bossy and demanding. Nobody was ordering personal readings, so I stopped it altogether. And now a lot of people are mad at me for not doing it anymore. So I know that this particular stream on Friday nights is going to like trickle along until I find a whole new base of people that are interested in these kinds of streams. So we'll just do our thing. If nobody else comes in, we'll hang out till like 7:30. If we get our normal 15 to 20 people, I'll be happy. I'm really glad to see a new face. Mike, I'm glad to see you back. I did miss you. We all missed you. Yeah. So do you want to show maybe like one of the images and whoever's here?
Yeah, let's do this. I want to show my favorite one because this is a video I saw a year or so ago. I'm sure a number of you folks in here probably have already seen it. It's this young man. He's on a fishing boat, and it's probably one of the most. When I researched this guy, he went cold after certain things went down, and I think he finally just started posting. But this is an interesting. Let me load it up here. Now I won't be able to see anything, so. You'll have to start rambling, woman. Okay. Now I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let me do this. Trying to get this. You got to forgive me because I've never done a TikTok one before. But I'm doing it.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, guys, it's only like our second or third week doing this. We had to take 3 weeks off because the holidays, things just kept coming up. So we're finding our groove just like we did with Oracle. It was touch and go at first. So.
Is it there?
Yep, it's there.
Okay, let me switch back to my screen here. Oh, I gotta turn it on. Okay, hold on. Okie dokie, here we go. Now this is really interesting. I'm gonna try to take it back to the very beginning. Ready?
We got another one over here. What are those?
See it moving in the water?
What the fuck's going on?
Oh my gosh.
It's keeping up with the boat.
Yeah,
It's
Something's swimming fast underneath that water.
Look.
Something's swimming real fast underneath that water.
He says water like I do.
I hear.
It's just that.
Listen.
What the fuck is that noise, bro?
Sorry,
what is that noise? Where are you? This is crazy. I heard it. I heard it. I hear it. Oh my God.
Crazy, huh?
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Wait, not done yet. Listen. She says jump for me.
We got another one over here.
All right, pause it.
It started over. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hear it? Jump for me. Listen.
Can you pause it, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Nomeo? I heard her say jump for me, and we'll definitely play it again because I know Mike said he's going to put it on his screen. I know it's small. Again, guys, we're just getting used to doing things this way. So something I forgot to say is
get rid of this. The caption.
Something I forgot to say is that anything we use here is for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes as well. Yeah, she definitely said jump for me at the end there.
Check out this TikTok person because he posts a lot of cool stuff.
So what do you guys think?
I personally, when I first saw this a year, I think it's been about a year. I was like, holy crap. And the more I watched it, the more I realized this is legit. There's other videos of the same guy where they come back and apparently somebody had seen the video, his TikToks. I think it's Instagram actually, but I'm not sure. Anyways, so when they go back out, halfway through the crew, he started recording the same stuff again. And then all of a sudden he cuts, he disappears. They totally blocked him. They wouldn't let him stream it anymore. Every time he posted it, it disappeared. So he went kind of hiatus for about a couple months. And then he put up an upload on either on TikTok or Instagram. And they were getting ready to leave. And there was an oceanography group on the boat being real secretive. And you would hear them, "You're not recording, are you?" in the background. I'm trying to find those now. But apparently they went out with him on the third trip. So I find this interesting.
So yeah, first of all, I did hear her say jump for me. The second thing I was thinking is like, is this would this be some sort of prank? But if you think about it, if you look at that water, think about how cold it would be, where they're at exactly. I don't know, but
up north.
You know, I don't believe any female would be in that water with whatever those things were just to yell something like that. I mean, of course, could it be fake? Yeah, of course. With AI and everything these days, sure. Yeah. But I just don't see it. And Blue, you made a good point.
You see them on the side of the boats, those fish. Sorry.
Okay. Blue made a good point. I think it's a reference of the story of sirens luring fishermen to their deaths. And that's what I was thinking too. I just don't want to forget what I'm saying. I'm famous for that. What's up, Nutslap? Yeah, that noise it wasn't a dolphin. It wasn't a whale. And in the video I did on Tuesday, I talked about how a lot, or at least in one of the encounters, the person said the thing that struck him as most odd is what you said. In that story, they were keeping up with the dolphins, but they weren't dolphins. And you can see there was no fin on those things moving by the boat. So that was definitely interesting.
Well, I can't see anything.
Mike said, that's how I look at my old lady every time I think of saying anything. Nutslap came in with just the eyeballs.
I got another one. Now, this one's interesting because it was taken with a drone out in the ocean. And let me get it up. And they say it's real mermaid footage. I don't know, but it looks like it's, they took a drone out on a boat and just set it up. So
I wonder if you're going to show the one I'm thinking of. There's one I'm thinking of, but I didn't know what it was called, where I'd seen it, or when. So I couldn't even tell you. But it was like they're looking down, and this mermaid looking thing is sitting on the rock, and it looks up, and they scatter. But like I said in my book, from all the research I've done, they're not Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I can't reiterate that enough. First of all, they have extremely sharp teeth. The sirens are the more attractive of the two, not the mermaids. The sirens have the voice and the look. That's how they were able to lure sailors back in the day, and they still probably do.
Okay,
mermaids are bald, gross, sharp teeth, not attractive.
No, they're not. But this was interesting because this, I believe this was taken in around Brazil. You're gonna have to watch. It shows one. There's like another one where there's swimming across the ocean out in the middle of nowhere. I still find this kind of like there was a bunch of people and dolphins.
So, all right, hold on. At first, I was like, it's just people in the ocean swimming with dolphins. But then, like he said, there's no other boats or anything around. How are you out in the middle of nowhere just swimming in the ocean with dolphins?
And and when you see the whole thing, I'm trying to find the whole one now. It's a lot longer. There's a lot of them. There's like about 30 of them, just like in a group, just kind of floating and coming and going. It's weird. And I'm like, this looks like it's out in the, and it looks like you see nothing. I mean, he actually pans around and there's nothing.
Well, Nutslap, yeah, it does look like people, and sirens and mermaids sometimes do. My thing is, again, any of this could be faith. I don't know. And it does look like people, but if you think about the total circumstances, like the guy said, there's no one else out here. So if they didn't come from that boat, where did they come from? Where are they going? How are they just in the middle of the ocean? You know what I mean? I can see like the skepticism, of course, because I'm skeptical too. But if you think about it like this, there are no other boats. There's nobody but them and these people in the water. What are these women or people doing in the middle of the ocean, out that far, swimming with dolphins like it's nothing? Nomeo, I wouldn't be surprised. He said, what if it's an underwater alien species life form? I was talking about that actually in the beginning, that I believe there are underwater bases. I believe there are underwater alien, I don't know if it would be realms. I don't know if it's even portals or if it's just other places on Earth we haven't seen yet.
Now I'm going to show you another one when you get.
What's up, Bat Mom? Yeah, go ahead.
Now this one's a little more on the UFO side, okay? But It's interesting. This is on a cruise boat. Set it up. Okay, you ready? Let me pull it back. They don't know what it is. They say it's under the waves, but it looks like there are times it just comes above it.
You know, with that too, a lot of people do say that they have a lot of the mermaids, even in the video I did this past Tuesday, that they have their own luminescence.
Luminescence.
And if you look closely at that, I know it's hard to see. We will work on getting the clips like full screen, and this is our first couple of tries doing this, but you can see the tail flapping in there. You can clearly see it if you look close enough. Either way, mermaid or not, that would freak me out if I were in the ocean and I saw this light just chilling. Because I would think it's either a spaceship or mermaid wouldn't be the first thing that came to my mind with that one until you look closely and you see the tail.
See it moving in the water.
Yeah,
you actually see it moving in the water. Now here's one.
Hey, Mark.
Now, this one has a guy that I really like. He used to be on one of my favorite shows, Paranormal Fact or Fiction. And he's an I believe, CIA guy or FBI. He's one of the Blue, when you see him, you probably know who he is. Okay. Just because of television, too. Let me get this loaded. I always do that. Boom. Okay. And I'll learn how to get rid of all the extra.
Yeah, that's fine. This is our third time doing this.
First thought was, that's got to be divers, right? It's got to be divers with those neon lights. And then I thought, no, not at night without a dive boat. That's really dangerous. What did you make of it when you saw this?
Exactly that. I mean, I'm a master diver. There's nobody around there with a dive boat, with a dive flag, anything like that. I like to dive at night. Some people go lobster diving. It is still possible. This particular one, we haven't had time even to get out there to go check this out in the field. But you start looking at, the number of sightings that people are having in these locations and, putting it all together, it just doesn't make sense that so many people, are unable to, I don't know. The UFO thing has been, always people focusing in the sky, right? And so it's kind of like now that we're shifting to USOs, a lot of people are wondering if this is a new phenomenon or not, and it really is not. It's the submerged objects have been since the beginning. When we started reporting, remember we had these pilots that were seeing them in the water off of Catalina, and air traffic controllers were telling us that pilots were witnessing this glow, sometimes the size of a city. So here you have this Fort Lauderdale case. It's a lot smaller, but it's really hard to say whether we're looking at a natural phenomena. These definitely not like phosphorescent algae. It's nothing like that. And it definitely doesn't explain how people are seeing the objects come up out of the water and zip out, and these huge flaps have been going on for decades.
And then the ones that dive back into the water and don't even make a splash, which is also, it just gives makes the hair on my neck stand on end. Again, I just want to go back to these pictures. Not divers, but is it possible? Well, first of all, have we seen any, plausible explanations surfacing? Like, well, this could be the military testing out new technology. This could be all sorts of stuff that we're not supposed to be seeing. Could be the enemy, although I doubt the enemy wants to be seen like this. But any plausible stuff that you've seen surface?
In this particular case, we really haven't had a chance, no pun intended, to dive into it yet. But this is just an example, like I said, of something that is much bigger, where I've had numerous cases where people are telling us have been out in the boat, they've been far away from shore, which again would be much more difficult to be just divers. And they've passed over areas about the size of a football field. And it's like somebody turns on a switch and the whole thing just lights up
And then they
underneath
just
them.
disappear. The light will just
The
disappear.
video that we were just looking at. My first thought
Steven,
was,
pause it when you talk because we can't hear you.
Yeah. No, it was done anyways. A lot of people say they either just kind of fade away, like they're like it's sinking, or it just goes out.
Yeah. Mike said something that I immediately thought when she said that. He said the size of a city, that's a mothership. That's exactly what I was talking about when we first came in. And I was like, the giant UFOs that are taking people and not bringing them up into the sky anywhere, but bringing them underwater, that could be something like this. Now, again, with this one, if you look closely, you can see someone or something swimming with a tail.
Yes.
That's what kind of awes me, right? Is like, again, who's out there? If it's divers, where's the boat? Where's the safety, that divers use? Where's any of that? There's nothing.
Right.
And it doesn't look like there's anything around. Like they are, again, in the middle of somewhere in a water source. Just like, swimming around like it's nothing. Night swimming, first of all, in the ocean.
No.
I don't know. I could see like if it's swimmers, but then again, if it were swimmers carrying, what's up, Netter? If it was swimmers carrying like glow sticks or wearing some kind of bioluminescent suit or whatever, wouldn't they be like waving, like, why are you filming us? Or, I feel like there would be interaction if it was human, not 100%, but that's just like my instinctual feeling is that if that were human beings, they'd want to know why they're being filmed. They'd want to know why they were put on the news. They'd be like, oh yeah, that was us. That was us that night that you guys, I think for the most part, people would. I don't think it's illegal. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one, but
see, they've seen these lights also inside of lakes, large lakes.
It's not just oceans.
No.
It's large bodies of water. Mike makes a good point again. They had to retreat underwater when the atmosphere changed. They're abducting us to figure out how to be able to come back. I mentioned that too throughout several videos across my channel about extraterrestrials. The reason the Greys possibly look the way they do is because they became so dependent on technology that they destroyed the atmosphere and had to go underground. So to me, that makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah.
Mom says, I hope everyone is well. I sure in heck don't want to be brought up and definitely not into the abyss. Yeah, me either.
I
don't really mind, I guess, but
anyways.
I'm sorry.
They say that it's funny because we know more about space than we do our own seas,
our own ocean.
The interesting thing is, a lot of people think, and that the sea is actually another gateway to hell.
I don't believe that. I mean, I guess that depends what you believe about.
Well, you got the Leviathan that comes out at the end of the Bible too.
At the end of what?
At the end of Revelations, the Leviathan comes out of the ocean. That's just huge, giant creature.
Mike says, I'd prefer being taken to space. I don't know. I mean, I guess, but I'm obsessed with the water, but I've had dreams and nightmares ever since I was very little about drowning. And it really creeps me out because if you look at my comments, I don't know if it's on YouTube though. It might be my TikTok comments. People keep calling me Natalie Wood. I guess with like the filter and like the way I do my hair and stuff over there. And with those nightmares combined with people saying that, but if it weren't for that risk, I would love to go down into like the depths further. I would love that.
I would love to go in a submersible and go down as far as I could go.
I've always wanted to do that. Ever since I was little, I've wanted to do that. When I found out GTA had submarines for free, it was like the first thing I did was get one and go on in there because I'm just fascinated by the ocean. I mean, I'm a Pisces, but it's just like ingrained in me. The ocean is my happy place. I will have my beach house one day. But people that live on or near the ocean and the beach report things all the time, whether it be coming from whether it be coming from the sky or under the ocean. But here's my thing with that too. Unless they see where it's coming from, you don't know that it didn't just come out of the ocean.
No.
Because more than likely with their technology, it wouldn't be wet. It wouldn't be like dripping a whole bunch of water. It'd probably just dry right off.
They go out, it'd be instantly dry.
That's what I mean. So it's not like you'd even be able to tell. If you hear a strange noise and you see a light and you look out your window, you can't tell if it came from below or above. Right. Because we don't know what kind of technology they have, especially if there's a huge body of water there that it could have come from. So I start to think like,
yes, they are, Andrew. Mm-hmm. No, Andrew had a good one. They are testing a lot of new stuff out there and shape-looking stuff, new boats, new subs. Navy is. It's pretty interesting what they got going on there. Yeah, I also think those the windmills are the ones that are screwing the windmills that are out there planted in the ocean, that they believe those are screwing with the whales. So imagine what it would, if it's screwing with the whales, wouldn't it screw with any other life form that might be under the ocean?
Maybe. I lost my thought, so.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true too. You'd be surprised some of the things fishermen pull up out of the ocean just on the pier. I mean, again, you just don't know, No,
you don't. I do have more if you want to look at them.
Yeah, show another one. We got like 20 minutes left.
Okay, I'll show the one that I find the most interesting. Hold on, let me see, make sure it's going to be. Okay, this video is from Malaysia. And it's really interesting. I've seen it 4 or 5 times, and it's kind of legit. So it's about a minute long, and I'll get it up. I should have had it on. There we go. Okay. Here we go.
Whole internet. On it, we see a local fisherman being. This video from Malaysia shocked the whole internet. On it, we see a local fisherman being dragged into the water by strange creatures. And only with the help of fire he managed to fight back. This fisherman later gave an interview where he told a lot of interesting things. He claims that these creatures resembled the legendary mermaids, only their faces were much scarier than we are used to. Curious thing is that just a year ago, locals in this area found a giant strange tail resembling the tail of a mermaid, and what scared us the most was its size. And recently, a group of divers decided to investigate the area further. And at first they didn't find anything until they came up with the perfect idea of attaching a GoPro to a shark's fin. And then began the strangest thing. Literally a couple of hours after the start of filming on the camera, caught a 3-meter creature that resembled a mermaid. And later their research team decided to dive there in a bathyscaphe, until at one moment they hit the glass with a strange hand with webbing between the fingers, which terrified the whole team, and they decided to stop all research. What do you think they encountered?
That part with this here. Now everything up until
they're in a bathyscaphe, until at one moment this was a fake documentary they did on the Discovery Channel, and they even said at the beginning this is a mockumentary, but a lot of people thought it was legit.
Okay, so
but everything he talks about up until that point, up until this, is all legit. I meant to stop it there. But all this here.
Mermaid. And later their research team decided to dive the pro to a shark's fin.
That they did do. Ask question.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I had 2 things to say. I don't remember now. Nomeo. I don't think Freddie said kiss me. Maybe he did. I don't remember that one. And I just wanted to say, they said the shark caught something. Was it 3 meters?
Yeah, this is
Can we talk about that 3 meters tall is actually 9.8 feet tall?
Yes. Is that what it is? Oh, you looked it up? That is
huge. Yeah, I looked it up. How tall is 3 meters in feet? 9.84251969. That's insane.
That's long.
That is insanely. That's taller than most Bigfoot encounters. That was a smart idea, though, putting a GoPro on. I don't know. when they showed the fisherman, I think this whole thing, I don't know about this whole thing, because when they showed the fisherman in the beginning, they're like, only fire helped him, and it looked like he threw a fireball out of his hand. Where did he get that?
Go ahead.
Where did he get the fire?
We see a local fisherman being dragged into the water by this video from Malaysia shocked the whole internet.
There are little things in that. Okay, I didn't see that before.
There's more to this video that he doesn't show, but it upset me because I didn't catch it until after I put it on thing, that it's all true up until after they show them in the diving submersible, and that was all from a mockumentary. So it's like it made me mad. But everything else from the start on is true.
That's like that documentary about the smiley face killers where they go out in search of them. And then you find out after, like throughout the whole thing, I was like, this is a little weird, but like, wow. And then at the end, I look it up. I'm like, no way this is real. And of course, I watched an entire mockumentary thinking it was a documentary. So Netter says, I used to think the most boring cryptid possible besides the chupacabra was the mermaid. Now I'm fascinated by mermaids. So it's funny you say that because I too think the chupacabra is like, okay. And like, all right, it's another ferocious hybrid of something. And yeah, I know the details are like whatever it's a hybrid of shouldn't be able to like hybrid, but like I'm just like whatever. It's like what's the name where you give too much attention to something and overrated wolf or coyote. But yeah,
okay.
Mermaids have always fascinated me. My drowning dreams, my drowning nightmares when I was younger. The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Alice in Wonderland are my top 3 for Disney. But I think that's just because like I'm so fascinated by under the ocean itself and underneath the ocean, and thinking about, is there an Atlantis down there still, or Lemuria? If they're finding evidence that Atlantis actually existed, but they gave the information to the dolphins, and they like, I did a whole video on it, but like they transformed into the dolphin. So what's to say they can't go back, but maybe they got stuck halfway transforming back. So now they're the remnants or revenants of Atlantis and Lemuria are the mermaids now, and they've got cities down there, Mike, have you seen something like that? Send in your stories, guys. I need one more story. I've needed it for the last 5 months to do another listener encounters video.
And I keep telling them when I go on, especially doing Gemma replays, I always say
it's hard. We lost a lot of our viewership with me not doing Oracle Live anymore. I'm still doing personal readings. I just, 4.5 years, I built 0 clientele, guys. You got to give that one to me. I gave it a lot of time. And it might still come back one day. But yeah, send me in your stories for sure. This Tuesday, we're going to be talking about on our 10:15 p.m. upload, we're going to be talking about Clinton Road, because I'm doing a new series of most haunted places in America and then most haunted places in the world. And I'm starting, of course, with Clinton Road in New Jersey. And we also discuss Annie's Road. So that's going to be a fun one. And then next Tuesday, this is actually a really good topic. I've been holding on to this one for a while. We're talking about spontaneous portals that open in the home, how that happens, what it could look like, how to get rid of it. The fake mermaid documentary. I didn't watch it. I might watch it just for kicks.
I think they still have it on one of the channels. Sometimes they stream it. It's hilarious. Well, it's not hilarious because it's very convincing.
That's what pisses me off about mockumentaries or mockumentaries is that there was one, oh my God, it made me so mad. Vampires in America on Investigation Discovery. And I thought it was real. I thought it was really these people going out to look for actual, not the people who live as vampires, not sanguinarians, not like actual, like freaking, like real interview from the vampires. You know how much I love that show. I made you watch every episode of both seasons. Like I've been waiting for the 3rd season now. They're changing the name of it to the Vampire Lestat, and it's coming out in 2026. But like, I really thought it was true until we got to the point where like they were interviewing vampires with fangs on camera. And I'm like, And then something towards the end just pushed me over the edge, and I was like, this cannot be true. And sure enough, it was a mockumentary, and that just really made me mad. I don't like when they do that.
Oh no. And the thing is, they say it. When I went back to watch it again, they say this is a mockumentary real fast. I mean, it's like flashed on the screen like super fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it. Mike said, like, literal step through doorway portal. If so, maybe that's what could explain where the person I heard the one night went. Yeah, and sometimes we open these portals. I've actually done this a lot privately for a lot of the people that came into my stream, or people that had seen my videos, seen my streams, and contacted me privately. I haven't done it in a while, but what I'll do is I'll go on a video call with them, and they will walk me through their house, and I will tell them where the portal is and what they need to close it. Some of them stay open and things just come in and out, but sometimes they open and they'll quickly close. It really does depend a lot on the land, the energy of the house, the energy of the it depends on so much. It's good to be back, guys. I just want to say this because we're going to end in a few minutes. I've really got to get back in the habit of streaming every week. And I just want to say to you guys that are here, thank you for coming in. I did have to hide Miss Smoochie from the channel. I think she's still able to see everything. She is just not able to comment. Because of the YouTube shorts, I told you guys some of them were going to be religious. I would try to keep the politics out of it, but to be respectful. And if you don't like it, I try to make a joke out of it. I'm not trying to do anything too serious here on YouTube, but there are certain people who, I don't know if they're drinking or smoking or doing whatever they're doing, but they want to come into my comments and be nasty and rude and make nasty, rude comments. And then the next day pretend like that didn't happen or pretend like it's a joke. And I'm just not going to tolerate that type of behavior. If you don't like something I'm doing, just skip it. Like, you don't have to be cruel or rude to me. I'm going through enough with losing Oracle. So trust me, I lost a lot, but I'm trying to revamp the channel. I'm trying to do bigger, better things. I'm trying to get more technically learned so that we can bring you guys better content and just get the views up. TikTok, I'm soaring. I'm just follower. It's just going up. I will be monetized over there with 10,000 followers by New Year's. And I'm stuck at like 6 point something K over here. Guys, one more thing I wanted to tell y'all before we leave. So I've been asking you guys, I don't know if many of you stay around to watch the end of the videos that I put out on Tuesday. I may have to put my whole little spiel in the beginning, which I really don't want to do because sometimes that turns new people off, even though you could just fast forward through it. But I've been asking you guys to hype the video. You can't do it, I don't think, from your computer. You have to do it from your phone. YouTube didn't tell me about this. One of you guys did. So if you look up how to hype a video, you guys got me from my average 50 to 100 views. My one video about people and like their weird last phone calls before going missing, that got almost 1,000 videos the last time I checked in a matter of about a week. And that's all from you guys just hitting the hype button. That's it. Just hit the hype button. Yeah, Divine, what's up, girl? If you guys can just do that one thing, hit it as many times as you can, my views will skyrocket. And then the hundreds in donations that I lost overnight could at least be made up that way, or at least start to be made up that way. So if you guys, I don't expect anyone to support me financially. If you want to, or if you can, definitely do. But there are other ways you guys can support me and really make a difference in my life and in my situation, just by doing things like hyping the video. And you're allowed to do it more than once, X amount of times per week for all different YouTubers. And it's really good for us smaller creators. So you guys made a huge difference. That video got almost 1,000 the last time I checked, and that was within a week. Normally I get 100 total, like in 3 months. I mean, I don't do well with my videos, but you need money to produce better content, and I just don't have it. So guys, I love you all. I am going to end it because RJ did stay home with me tonight. So I have him kind of pushed off into his room, not allowed to come out while I'm streaming. while I'm streaming, and I got a shower and all that. We're doing Friendsgiving with my family tomorrow, so we're all doing Thanksgiving alone. So tomorrow we're doing Friendsgiving and we're all getting together. Thank you guys for coming out and joining us. We're going to have longer streams. We're going to try to do better with the tech. I just really appreciate those of you who showed up tonight. The last 3 weeks have been crazy schedule. My doctor, RJ's doctor, Ray's doctor, Halloween parties, class parties. It's just, we couldn't do it. We had it all set last week. I just could not do it. My schedule's been crazy. So thank you guys so much for showing up. It really means a lot to me. Donate, PayPal, or Cash App if you can. I'm still doing personal readings, so hit me up if you want to do one of those. And that's about it. If you don't mind politics and religion, join me on TikTok. If you do mind, please don't. And yeah, Mike, it was great seeing you. It was great seeing all of you. I miss you guys. Oracle may come back at some point. I just really need to see my channel stand on its own without it. It was disastrous. I didn't think that taking it out would have such a negative effect on my channel, because I thought that people were here for like the whole thing. I was disillusioned, but we'll make it work. And I just love you all so much. You're like my family, and I don't want that to change as I go through this transition. Leanne, our new face, our new name, thank you so much for coming in and putting up with us. I hope you'll join us next week. I don't know what the topic will be, probably most haunted places. Maybe I'll start with Clinton Road in New Jersey, or maybe we'll just go all over and find the scariest places in the country. But I love you all. Have a great night. Have a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic weekend. And
I'll be here tomorrow night.
And Ghosty will be here tomorrow. He is probably not going to be streaming every Wednesday because he's getting 1 view. No, I think it's because our schedule, we switched the schedule around. I don't blame you guys for not knowing. If you're not watching every single short, you're not catching the information. So we get it, but he may be doing every other week, but he'll let you know about his schedule. For now, though, we will be here, Lord willing, and as long as nothing crazy happens, every Friday between 7 and 7:15, just like for Oracle. I'm going to try to do it every single week unless something comes up. And if something does come up, I will make it known in a YouTube short. And I'll do the best I can. Don't forget to tune in on Tuesday nights at 10:15 p.m. Eastern time. I really love you guys, and I will talk to you.
And I'll always do Saturday nights replays until I run out of stuff to do and I have to do new stuff.
I have thousands of videos.
We're almost out of stuff. So,
all right. Love you guys. Bye.
Have a good night, folks.